Sorry. Today we shall conclude the third module by speaking about theorems of welfare economics. You remember from the introductory part, the first theorem tells us that every equilibrium allocation is a Pareto optimum. The second theorem tells us that every Pareto optimum can be obtained as the equilibrium allocation of economy after a suitable redistribution of resources. As we shall see, while the first theorem is always true, is independent from the properties of preference relation, production set, and so on, the second theorem is not independent. It relies heavily on very particular properties of preference relation and production set, substantial convexity. Well, let us begin with the first theorem. The term welfare economics, as I told you in the first part of the module, derives from the title of a main work by Arthur Cecil Pigou, Welfare Economics. Well, let us consider any equilibrium of economy. You remember, equilibrium is identified by a very large vector like this. Vector which tells us what is the price system, the equilibrium price system, the quantity, the consumption bundles of the H households, the production processes of the F firms. And these vector must verify the usual condition. I shall not rewrite them, well known. Equality between the demand and supply for every good, and optimality of every consumption bundle in the budget constraint, every production process in the production set. Do you remember? Well, let us consider the total quantities available in the economy after firms have activated their respective processes. So you have a vector T star is nothing but the sum of the initial loads of our H households plus the production set, the sum of the production set in the firms. You remember, if a good is mainly a product, the corresponding component of this vector is a positive number, so the produced quantity adds to the initially available one. While if the good is mainly a production factor, the corresponding component of this vector is a negative number. So in the end, we have an availability of that good which is equal to the initial load of that good minus the quantity which is employed as production factor, as usual. Clearly, T star belongs to large T, a set of possible vectors of produced goods. In the case of only two goods, we have a set like this. Now, the first problem is But this vector, this star, where is it? It is on the production on the boundary of this set, the transformation function, or below. It is possible that this star is a point like this, an internal point to large T. This would mean that in equilibrium there is no efficient allocations of production factors among the different sectors. Because if vector T star were at this point, it would be possible to increase at least one produced quantity without decreasing any other produced quantity. In reality, this is impossible. In a pure competition economy without external effects and so on, public goods and so on, we have the following result. Equilibrium implies technical efficiency of the economy. In other terms, the point T star must belong to this boundary. This important theorem is a consequence of a more general lemma, which has also other consequences. First of all, we shall prove the preliminary lemma, and then we deduce both the fundamental result of efficiency, of technical efficiency, and also we shall have a tool, an instrument, which is very important in order to prove the first theorem of welfare economics. The lemma is the following. The total value of available quantities in equilibrium, evaluated by means of the equilibrium price system, is greater or equal than the value of any other vector T in large T. In other terms, in equilibrium, the total value of finally available quantities is maximized. This is simply a consequence of profit maximization by firms. It's an elementary corollary of this assumption. Ora, let's suppose all'assurdo that, on the contrary, there exists a T, large T, such that the value of T is greater than the value of T star, evaluated at the price equilibrium system. But this alternative T, how is it obtained? Simply by a similar relation. Similar equality. This T will be equal to some initial endowments and the sum of some particular alternative productions process of the firms. So T will be equal to sum for H of omega H plus sum for F of certain YF, one for every firm. More precisely, for every F there exists a YF in the production set of the F firm, such that this equality is verified. And suppose that T is this, for example. Now let us evaluate both vectors. according to the price system P star. P star times T is nothing but P star times omega H plus, because right this way, P star times YF, which is greater, P star times T star, which is nothing but this. P star times sum H, omega H plus Q star times Y star F. I rewrote this inequality simply by expanding T star and T in these forms. So we have this inequality. Clearly, the total value of initial endowment can be simplified. So the final result is this. The sum for f of P star times YF must be greater than the sum for f of P star times Y star F. But what is the economic meaning of this inequality? This sum, every production process in equilibrium is evaluated by the equilibrium price system, is nothing but the sum of the total profits in equilibrium of our firms. While this sum, this alternative sum, is the sum of the profits of all firms in this hypothetical alternative situation. So, substantially, the result is the following. By suitably choosing in each production set an alternative YF, we obtain a larger profit, a larger aggregate profit than in equilibrium. But in order that this inequality is verified, it is essential that at least for one firm, an analogous inequality must hold. For example, the first firm. So we must have, for example, this result. Because if for every firm the complex inequality held, this large inequality would not be satisfied. But is this possible? Clearly no. Because according to this price system, P star, by activating this particular production process Y star 1, the first firm obtained the maximum profit. Here it is written that there is another process that, according to the same price system, gives to the first firm an higher profit. This is impossible, because every firm is supposed to maximize its profit. So the theorem is proved. Let us repeat all the demonstration. We are in equilibrium. Here there is the price system, the consumption bundle, and the production processes of equilibrium. T star is the vector which represents the total available quantities in equilibrium, which is nothing but the sum of initial endowments plus the sum of production processes, as we saw many days ago. There is a lemma which tells us that according to the equilibrium price system, vector T star maximizes the total value of T for every T in the production possibility set, large T. In other terms, in equilibrium, the total value of available resources is maximized. Suppose this is not true, absurdo where exists an alternative T, large T, such that this inequality holds. But clearly also this T will be obtained in the same way by summing to the initial endowment some alternative production processes for referrals. So by rewriting this inequality by expanso, you obtain this large inequality by simply substituting to T and T star their definitions. These two sums can be simplified, and the final result is, by activating these alternative production processes, the firms aggregatively obtain a profit, an aggregate profit which is larger than the aggregate profit in equilibrium. But this can hold only in the case in which there is at least one firm, suppose the first firm, for which an analogous inequality holds. But this is impossible. This means that in equilibrium there is an alternative process Y1 which gives to the first firm a profit which is greater than the equilibrium profit. Impossible, since every firm is supposed to maximize its profit. So the result is attained. This is a fundamental level. And now, after a short break, we should see the various consequences